The growing complexity of today's terror climate presents new challenges for the FBI, and agents are learning to adapt. In this Fox News exclusive, Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge goes inside the FBI's training of its elite evidence response teams.
Less than a week before the Pulse nightclub terrorist attack, Fox News embedded with FBI evidence response teams, where the training is shifting from bomb investigations like the 2013 Boston Marathon attack to close-quarter complex scenarios with high-powered assault weapons, like the San Bernardino shooting and now Orlando.
These active shooter-type terrorist scenarios has really been a game-changer.
Evidence response team section chief Tom Lintner says crime scene evidence, some of it microscopic, is like a giant jigsaw puzzle, and the feds help decode it.
Our ability to really bring in additional resources, in particular from the FBI laboratory, our firearms specialists, to come in and do the trajectory work associated with those scenes to really, again, be able to tell the story of exactly what happened on that scene.
Inside the Pulse nightclub, FBI evidence response teams are building a timeline based on the forensics. And like this drill, they tag and videotape evidence to understand where every shot was fired and in what sequence to build a legal case.
To pick up a piece of evidence and collect it in a defensible manner, in a manner that you know you can get it into court to engage in prosecutions against the subjects that perpetrate these kinds of events.
Another training scenario takes a page out of December's San Bernardino shooting, where Saeed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik had a bomb-making factory in their garage.
They may actually build booby traps into a secondary location, someplace that they know law enforcement's either going to gather for a scene or that they're going to search.
Even household items are useful to the investigation and run through databases to verify a link.
If we find similar size screws, similar shape screws, if they're the same manufacturer, we might be able to match up what we find at a bomb scene with what we find where it was made.
But it's not just physical evidence. The teams gather intelligence from cell phones and documents to disrupt future attacks.
We expect the investigators to get in and exploit immediately and transmit that information out as rapidly as possible.
With ISIS-directed attacks at the Brussels airport and subway, as well as a Paris concert hall and restaurants 4 months earlier, the FBI teams are on the move.
We're a lot more busy overseas than we used to be. We get like one overseas trip. Now we're getting, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
In the last 6 months, there have been 2 mass casualty attacks inside the U.S. inspired by a foreign terrorist group. With the CIA's finding that ISIS has foreign fighters that could potentially serve as operatives for attacks in the West, the expectation is that the severe threat level will continue for the foreseeable future. At FBI headquarters, Catherine Herridge, Fox News.
All right, now still ahead on Fox 5 News at 10. Iraqi soldiers winning the battle against ISIS terrorists, but Iraqi civilians are the ones paying the price. And the Braves, they made it 5 in a row today. Cody has the highlights and post-game reaction. It's next in sports.
Listen up.
Bunker into the 2010 PGA.
Should they stay or should they go? The British are asking themselves that question as they prepare for the vote on the Brexit this week. That's coming up on Fox 5 News at 10. As Iraqi forces near victory over ISIS in Fallujah, concern is growing for the civilians trying to escape the battle. Fallujah is a strategic crossroad about 40 miles west of Baghdad. It's been under ISIS control since 2014. Iraqi counterterrorism forces have been steadily advancing through the city under the cover of U.S. airstrikes. They've cleared the southern half of Fallujah and seized the city's main hospital. ISIS is fighting back with landmines, snipers, and missiles. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of civilians have been forced out of their homes.
We are concerned right now as we speak. There are thousands without any tents, without any shelter. They have slept overnight. They out in the open. They are now stranded out there in a sandstorm under the scorching sun without any protection.
Refugee workers are expecting the flow of survivors escaping the city to increase in the coming days. A train station in Belgium was evacuated today following reports of suspicious suitcases. Turned out to be a false alarm, but the government has been on edge since the November terrorist attacks that killed 32 people. Just yesterday, police conducted raids to interrupt another possible terror attack.
The shock to our economy after leaving Europe would tip the country into recession.
It's just a matter of days before the British decide if they want to remain a part of the European Union. The nation appears to be bitterly divided on the issue of the Brexit, or British exit from the EU. Political analysts suggest a yes vote could cost Prime Minister David Cameron his job.
I think he's actually been pretty stunned by the extent, by the strength of the Leave cause. I think the golden rule is never hold a referendum unless you're confident of winning it.
The vote is coming up on Thursday. Extremely heavy rain in Lipetsk causing flash flooding. More than 20 inches fell on the city Saturday. That's more than it normally sees during an entire year. One resident posted this video on Instagram showing dozens of cars and buses caught in the swiftly rising water. Coming up on the Sunday News Edge, one man's lotto fever will probably land him in jail. Coming up, the extreme lengths he went to just to get his hands on a winning ticket. That's all new and next on the Sunday News Edge at 11.